was a great experience looking back, a lot of family time, real big sports community. At Oakville, I played soccer and basketball, and I remember all the coaches were always big on, discipline and showing up on time and following the rules.
He was always very competitive. I think that translated over into a lot of the other things he did, including sports at Oakville High School. He played soccer, basketball, and was always very competitive, and I think that helped him in his later career.
I went to Southern Illinois University on a soccer scholarship in Edwardsville for 2 years. I went down to FIU for my junior year. There was a female model that went to Florida International as well on the volleyball team, and she modeled, and she kept saying, hey, you'd be a great model. You should model. So I went to see two agencies in Miami Beach, and they actually both said nicely no as well. So I went to another agency in Miami Beach, and they said, yeah, we'll give you a shot. And I was like, perfect. I started out in Miami Beach and then moved to LA for a little bit, then went to Chicago. It was definitely, the first 2 years was not easy. Struggling and trying to get the next job, the next editorial, trying to building up your portfolio and getting recognized as a model was definitely not easy. Multiple times I wanted to quit, but I had a mentor that kept saying, I'm telling you, you have the look, you have the dedication, the discipline, the motivation, you have what it takes, like don't give up. And so I eventually moved to New York City, and within like a couple weeks I had a Ralph Lauren campaign, which was a big campaign at the time, and then kind of started to snowball from there.
Sam, who continues to be Brad's agent in New York, suggested Brad, and the client fell in love with him. It was early days for him. He had just started modeling. Listen, he's a great looking guy. There is no question, handsome, charming, all those things, but there's a deeper part to him that I think makes him very unique and stand out. When he started building his career with campaigns, like Chanel and Fendi and, all the huge campaigns that he's done, it made my heart so happy because I just felt he was so deserving of it, because he always worked so hard at being a great model, but also being very respectful on set, being very kind and gracious. And, the bigger he got, it's almost like the more gracious he became.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things that he would say is people think, modeling is easy. You just go in front of a camera and smile. But actually, it's really hard work to be in shape 365 days a year for years on end. So you have to be very disciplined when it comes to diet and exercise. And then also some of the days can be grueling. And then also, just to be, how many people can say that they were the #1 person in the world for their profession?
When I first started modeling, I told everyone I'll be the #1 model in the world. And I remember all my friends and stuff, they were laughing at me. And within, I think it was 3 years, I was #1 in the world.
I think for our students in the Mehlville School District, no matter what they want to do, to have somebody who's been the #1 in the world in their profession to say, okay, maybe I just don't want to make a living. How do I become the very best? What is the kind of work ethic that's needed to do that? I think Brad's example should inspire them.
I think being around Brad and, watching how he interacts with people of all ages, of all, statures, the graciousness and the kindness is so beautiful to watch because it's so sincere. He's not doing it because he's trying to get them to like him, or he's not doing it. It's just who he is.
Not giving up, believing in yourself, self-belief, all that was my biggest strength, I think. Still love doing it and the competitiveness of it, of staying in shape, exercise, diet, living a healthy lifestyle. I love all that. And I think that still comes back to my Oakville roots with the sports and taking care of yourself and the discipline, the motivation, the competitiveness with sports and keeping up with my brother. All that has kind of helped my modeling career as well.